Take a seat, take a breath. Got a feed that decides life and death. Every chart is a mountain, a meme, a decree. Is this genius or mass lunacy? So with me, this wild mentality, where a frog with sunglasses screams, we're early endlessly. Oh, see, bulls and bears and fantasy, every post's a prophecy. There's nothing made to be. If you want to read what passes for a master plan, simply click and flick your thumb across this broken land. Want to know which way the winds of crypto might just be? Go scroll me. One says up, only friends. Next says this is how it ends. Someone's calling the top, someone's buying the dip, someone's typing a thread as their last relationship slips. Scroll with me through the fear and ecstasy, where a chart in crayon gets 1,000 hearts for free. You'll see every hot take, every plea. I was right in 23. Trust the line, ignore the spreadsheet. If you want to gauge if hope or panic's in command, if they're building castles or just castles in the sand, want to test if we're all early or just fantasy? Slow with me. Is it signal? Is it noise? Are we traders? Are we toys? Every candle, every coin is a cult you can join. Scroll with me, let the chaos be our key. Read the mood like it's a map to some great mystery. You'll see faith and doubt and harmony. I'm all into, I'm set free.
In one day and one same tweet.
If you want to know if folks are brave or out of time, if they're quietly convicted or have simply lost their minds, then my friend, you found the perfect place to start this stream. So scroll with me.
G-Scroll. G-Scroll to always celebrate. Let me get a little agua. Brought to you by Spindrift. But G-Scroll. My name is Dude Lifts. It is Wednesday, July 29th. You know the vibes. We are back once again to inspect and dissect the Twitter timeline. You know, I got to say, you know, episode 183, we're creeping off at 200 episodes. At some point, I gotta, like, when do I become a timeline expert? I'm just saying, like 10,000 hours. What's the vibes here? We need to understand from Nikita Beer. But like I was saying, my name is Dude Lifts. This is Scroll With Me, where we scroll the Twitter timeline. We inspect, and dissect the timeline, separating the truth and the false, the wheat from the chaff, trying to find the truth, separate the signal from the noise on Twitter. So without further ado, let's get ready to rumble. But let's begin to scroll. Let's see what's going on. Easy Eats says, why hasn't PSA gone public yet? They would absolutely rip. Great pun there on the rip. I would say they probably haven't gone public because they don't need to. They have 14 million cards in backlog, and they just print money, I sense. So no need to do that. In the sense of like going public is essentially kind of like trading future money for today, and they've got all the today money they need. So there you go. Let's see here. NFT brands generate more revenue and have more users than the majority of vaporware VC-backed crypto projects have been fed over the past 4 years. Dude, look at Flow with that $746 million raise. Yes, sir. Shit we love to see. Love it. So happy for my time of flow. Genuinely, that's not sarcastic. It was incredible. Let's see here. Maurice here says, had an interesting convo with a newer friend today. I nonchalantly stated that stablecoins are the greatest product to ever come out of crypto. How it's kind of hilarious how antithetical that is to the original cypherpunk ideals. Yeah, and we're not going to read further because you know the rules. I don't make them up. I think, once again, kind of problem of absolutes. Are stablecoins the greatest thing to ever come out of crypto? Probably not. Almost definitively not, actually. Like, in order for even those things to exist, the kind of distributed ledger, distributed computer, like has to exist first. A distributed computer that has like consensus, coordination, all of these things. So I think we're forgetting the kind of fundamentals there. But I also think internet native value will take off at some point where, stable coins, because it's essentially kicking the can. We're just saying, hey, we need value and we need to be sure that it's valuable. And so we're going to peg it to the dollar. And he's right that it's a kind of a violation of the cypherpunk ideals because of that reason. So, but I think we'll see internet native value sooner than most people think. Who knows? And that could be something like USD AI in the sense that it's, like Bitcoin is essentially tokenized electricity. Do we have some kind of AI compute, something that's, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. All right. Levels IO says, when you're 35 plus traveling just becomes doing the exact same things, but in a completely different location. Why is that true? Why is that true? What'd you guys do? Got coffee, got food. Shit. Went to Disneyland. He knows. All right, let's see here. Can someone who actually is good at AI please tell me how I should have properly prompted to get the best help with sports betting? Realize that through this experiment, how much the tool comes down to the user. Yeah, chat, we are cooked. My guess is Min. It looks like you got a lot of comments, so I won't, belabor the point here. But if you're asking the question, what do I need to prompt? Maybe that's the problem, just off the rip. Like, to actually succeed with something like sports betting, you probably need, workflows, agents, some other stuff like that. So, yeah, there's layers, there's levels to this shit. Oh, dude, the Izuki Run Club. Hey, come over and I'll make a banana cookie matcha. Hey, Raposa Coffee. You would love to see. Wait, if you ever get asked what you want to, if you want to be a tiler, just say no. Yeah, dude, those are some giant tiles. Dude, we had a guy come in and quote us on a new shower because our shower was destroyed. Thanks to the previous homeowners, there was mold. It was fucked up. It was quoted as, from multiple trades, not just one, the worst installed shower they'd ever seen. So that was fun. But the first guy came in, and he came in all kind of high and mighty. And I was like, I don't like this guy's vibe. Off the rip. Don't like this guy's vibe. But I'm going to hear him out. And I'm like, hey, this is what I like. I'm thinking, I showed him some designs I came up with AI. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, the really big tiles are in right now. He's like, they're in right now, and I'm like, yeah, but I want this. He's like, we're just seeing a lot of these big tiles right now. He was really pushy about the big tiles. And I realized later, I was like, while true, I don't want my bathroom to look like a Lifetime Fitness, and it's less fucking work for them. Yeah. Tried to sell me on big fucking tiles. Hey, guy. Fuck you. No one's going to get me with their big tiles. I want a bunch of small tiles, which I got from an absolute shad of a tile installer. If anyone needs a tile installer, I got your guy. And he'll fly all over the globe. So anywhere, let me send my guy to you. Russ will absolutely cook on your tiles. Let's see here. I did a little refresh because, I saw 35 tweets in the bank. Let's see here. We've got punch markets here. Let's dive in. And they respected the 280 characters, okay? They respected the 280 characters. And I respect that they respected that. They're a DeFi protocol. They could put out fucking pages, which they did on their white paper, but we'll read the 280 characters because we respect it. Okay. You earn punch rewards whether you win or lose or get liquidated while trading. The more punch you lock before a trade, the bigger your reward multiplier, up to a cap. This gives early stakers an edge when trading opens and incentives start flowing. Punch 20 is how you prepare. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Punch Markets is a lose to earn perps platform. Hell yeah. A lot of people farmed Hyperliquid because, well, they didn't know they were farming Hyperliquid, or maybe they kind of did a little bit, but they got tokens just for participation. But it's kind of generally inferred that farming is a negative EV action in the moment. Same with FWA, right? But these guys are just leaning in, and they're just like, no, you actually get more tokens when you get liquidated. Incredible technology. Technology. Very good. So congrats to those teams. And full disclosure, Punch 20 is how you prepare. I'm prepared. I am prepared. Have a sizable bag. So we like it. Oh, shit. Whoops. All right, here we go. Now strong plus guidance. Dude, Charles is back. So we like the tweets because look at that crown doodle. It's incredible. Ooh, B rated here says people's sentiment is at an all-time low. People are fudding mints, meme coins, teams, artists, creators because everyone is making pennies at the moment. I agree that sentiment is all-time low. Creators are finding it difficult. We don't read it anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's tough out here in these streets. It boils down to one thing. Always has growth. Growth, 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 growth. I'll explain. Why did NFT projects start building discords? You might say, oh, Monty in the chat saying, yeah, oh my God. Jesus. Monty said yo in the chat, and then someone in Twitch came and said, yo, bro, I just want to show some real love because of the stream because you generally got crazy potential. I love to connect to the top Twitch streamer, pulls thousands of like viewers. Thanks for taking over my chat, bruh. Ain't your brah. But then Monty threw the doodle face. Thank you for cleansing the palate. Throw a few more doodle faces in there to get Lakon off the chat. But growth. Why did NFT projects choose Discord? A little bit of lore for those of you who don't know. You might think, oh, well, NFT project people, maybe they're like gamer adjacent, and so they just like wanted somewhere to no. It's because Top Shot, right? So Top Shot had a Discord, and it was so popular that it started gaining organic traffic because Discord at the time, when you used to download Discord, it would say, hey, here's some of the top Discords by growth. And Top Shot was one. So they were just getting hundreds of thousands of organic users going to the Top Shot Discord who never knew about Top Shot. And so people saw this and they said, oh my gosh, I need Discord. So it became this kind of like recursive thing where NFT projects would create Discords. It would be surfaced as top trending Discords. More people would join. They join your community, buy your NFTs, yada, yada, yada. Growth. When things aren't growing, that's when people get a little weird. And they get a little squirrely. And if NFT projects were if they were exclusive clubs or whatever, exclusive clubs aren't any fun if nobody wants to get in. That's when people get a little edgy. So we build. In fact, Log says G scroll and G scroll to you, good sir. So yeah, just know that this is normal, not my first bear market. Got it. Okay. Let's go back up. Let's read Jordan here. Crypto has not always been a casino. It has always been deep tech. It has been funded by how easy it is to build casinos on top of it, allowing the entire industry to essentially bootstrap itself into the financial powerhouse it is today. I generally agree with that. All right, Gary Vaynerchuk here says, I'm not like fuck the haters. I'm like, I love the haters. I want to help the haters. I want to show them there's a better way. Hate gets no one nowhere. Dude, I saw let's see here. Dude, I'm on a plastic straw, but I think I just gave it a good little toot. I saw a clip from Sam Altman from OpenAI. I thought this was interesting because he was talking about, posting on Twitter and then people dunking on you. And I think this can kind of go to like Discord as well, kind of all kinds of vehicles. But he's like, you post something because you're building something, you think it's interesting, you think it's cool. and then people will dunk on you to get their internet points, the cheap shots of the day. And he talks about like it's essentially like a morally bankrupt thing to do. And I thought that was so fascinating, and it just reminded me of kind of like the stance you have to take as a builder. It's not easy, but Monty says Top Shot really kicked off the Discord meta. Damn, they really onboarded. And not that, just to be clear, it didn't kick off like Discord as a whole, but like as far as I'm aware, for NFT Discords, I believe that's true, or at least catapulted it, really took it to the next level. In a similar way, a lot of people don't realize Doodles essentially did the first allowed list, did the first whitelist because they closed the Discord. They just invented that. They're like, you know what would happen if we just closed the Discord and then only gave the mint details out in the Discord? That was the first allow list. It's crazy. Like these kind of subtle, small things really, really change the way we are. You can tell it's neat by the way it is, you know? Let's see here. Live. Robinhood just launched on Solana. Tradable now. I feel like that's not the real Robinhood. What is that? I just remembered I used to run a newsletter on here for art and architecture 5 years ago. Lokinuinely, might have to bring it back. You should bring that back. Lokinuinely. Gammy says, I have nothing to do with any token on Solana. Just an FYI, I'm an Ethereum maximalist. It's true. Let's keep going here. Okay, this app is great because I can post some random numbers and people just get it. GPT 5.6, graded up as 5, graded up as 4. Is that true? Damn, I need to stop using Fable. What am I doing? I actually have been using Opus 5 a little bit more, but I don't know. And then Anthropic's just not vibing. I might have to make the switch to GPT at some point. But I'm so in the trenches already. I don't know. There was something I saw here. What was it? I don't know. We'll keep going. Keep going until I remember. Jake says G scroll, y'all. Oh, dude, what are the odds? Frey in the chat with the G scroll as we scroll over the Frey tweet. The timeline provides. As we know, the timeline provides. Let's see what's going on here. So Frey says, proud to share at Labs. We started at Labs because we believe taste is becoming the biggest competitive advantage. We do a little click in here. It says, huge thanks to the incredible teams who trusted us while we were in stealth. To celebrate launch, we're offering 20% off for founders. Know a founder in AI or crypto? Let's chat. Yeah. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I don't make the rules. I just obey them. You're like, oh, dude lifts. You don't click in? Hey, if you G scroll every day and your tweet comes across the timeline, I'm clicking it. Okay. We're clicking it. But first off, at Labs, I mean, incredible technology on that tag. Come on. Four characters, dude? 4 characters? Crazy. But we've got Andy from Monster who says, I've worked with Jake a few times in the past. He's a really sharp dude. Great to work with. You need design help. I highly recommend checking out Labs. Yeah, this is cool. So definitely if you have kind of, I thought about the term like forward deployed designer. I know that's probably incorrect and I don't want to sell them short, but when I read the description, it's what it made me think of. And as I found out, it's interesting. You kind of go on this like arc when you start using AI. Some it's a short arc, some it's a long arc. You're like, oh my gosh, I can build anything. And you do. I remember in February of this year, I built like 3 apps in like 2 weeks. And I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm an app builder. And then you get to this point where like, okay, I can build anything. And then you kind of go over that arc and then you come back to the place of like, well, if I can build anything, what should I build? Right. And then that's kind of where the element of taste comes back into play. And so, AI, I think most people find out who use it is a taste amplifier. Right. And so finding somebody who can who has that kind of foundational kind of skill, knowledge, taste, discernment, whatever it may be, is really, really helpful. So yeah, definitely would recommend Frey over here. Everyone go check out at Labs, give it a follow. All right, let's see here. And Frey, feel free to clip that. Feel free to post it, Let's see here. Let's keep going. The maker community in Japan never ceases to amaze me. Someone built a modular PCB board we can solve. Interesting. Dude, I'm going to be ordering some parts today. Speaking of vibe coding, I'm taking on my first physical hardware project today. I'm pretty excited about it. So excited to do some little building, some testing. Dude, let's give it a little refresh, dude. Let's give it a little refresh. Today I learned Mead God has not owned a desk this entire time and has been building from a plastic folding chair in his kitchen. I don't know who that is, but incredible technology. Incredible technology. Thank you, MoonPay. I've now accumulated more pawns via Paybox. Dude, I need to check this out. MoonPay. Oh, wait, is this the thing? MoonPay did the announcement of the announcement of the announcement, and this is what it was? Do I need to check this shit out? Wait, can you actually... Wait. What the fuck? Is this like from within the ChatGPT? Or is like... Yo. I need to look into this. We need to look into this. I feel like I met the Paybox guys at Salon Accelerate. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Very cool. Regardless. Very cool. Very cool. I believe we go back to creating big runners on chain again, a concentration of liquidity versus shredding across 101 Dalmatians. I know a good coin when I see him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right. Carlos Moreno says, if someone has working at XYZ in their bio, are they exempt from content disclosure or do they still have a paid partnership tag to post anything? I'm pretty sure they are exempt. I thought that was my impression, but who knows? Who knows? Live POW. Oh, this launchpad must have gone live. That's cool. Hopefully it pumps my bags. Jazzwares was the clear showstopper at Comic-Con. Who's Jazzwares? Is it Pudgy Penguins? Someone else? Oh, damn. That's cool. That's sick. It's not bundled, bro, the bubble maps. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. So funny. Good update. I was rolling 0.025 ETH like it was the most common thing in Gacha. Kept hearing feedback about the minimum backing price being too low relative to purchase. We manually updated the minimum backing to 0.05. Oh, interesting. So you can't roll anything lower than that. That makes sense. FWA coded. $31 million hotel. Every pipe wire mapped in advance, built by typing sentences. Oh, I was like, this isn't real. Oh, I didn't realize this is a 3D render. I thought this was like I thought the hotel was just raw infrastructure. Like there was no walls. Like this, just like there's like the ultimate industrial. Wait, Kimmy K3 for Splendor MCP. Yo, this shape though. What is that? Why'd you pick that? It's a little cursed. You know what I'm saying? Little cursed. Oh my gosh, I thought this was so funny. I feel like becoming the Pudgy Penguin is becoming more of a thing. Like Adam Hollander from OpenSea was the Penguin. Now Austin's become it. Now, the funny part is that Austin became Polly, which is like, it's really funny. Like at San Diego Comic-Con, like people were interacting with Polly. Did they know it was Austin under the hood? I don't know. It's just funny. But he did a great job. He did a great job. All right, let's keep going here. Cleanosaurus collectors raced to mint Pioneer packs for Hebo. Yeah, I think they ended up selling close to like 75,000 packs of those. Very cool. Congratulations to the Clano team. Well deserved. Well deserved. Fun fact, I am deadly allergic to banana. I was here for this event, but unable to hang out with anybody. A banana allergy is kind of crazy. Because I know like there's typical allergies like tree nuts, shellfish. How does one acquire such a unique allergy? I don't know. I've wondered that for some time. Jimothy isn't more viral than Punch, and we all know it. I mean, that's just true. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. That's just true. Not one scan of Pipe Dog, not one DM. I might be washed. LOL. I know a good lab when I know a good. Oh, look. I know a good lab when I see him Freudian sleep. I know a good coin when I see it. All right, Kato is back. Kato is back, is what they say. That's what they say. A new TGE campaign format with better alignment, no upfront cost for brands, and stronger protection for creators. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see where this goes. It's like they had a tough go of it, with the Twitter kind of cracking down on them. And this says nothing about their token. I'm just like, when you essentially kind of like go to zero mind share, it's just tough to come back. Tough to come back. But being that it's infrastructure, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Dude, ADI is back. If you never ask, you'll never know, says Tree. Tree doing some long form writing. Things we love to see. All right, we got 1 minute left on the clock. Let's give it a little refresh on the timeline. Oh, I thought this is cool. Okay, so cool that OCAP Games is only the third-party publisher to. Oh wait, is one of the only third-party publishers to ever be allowed on the Panini logo on their card. Yeah, this is cool. I imagine Spinotron has something to do with this. You know what I mean? Very cool to see here, and I guess it's going to be at the National Sports Collectors Convention. So, congratulations to Spencer, the team. But it is just about 9 o'clock. I'm going to stop yapping. It is Wednesday, July 29th. We'll be back Thursday, July 30th. And until next time, as always,